make sure that it's recording. Great. Okay. So today I'll be sharing with you about some of the service excellence companies, some of the companies that have built their brands into some of the most valuable global brands. So if you take a look at this, this overview, you can actually refer to this on the internet. It is actually a survey on the top 100 most valuable global brands, okay, in the year of 2014, sorry. And you can see the familiar names here. Some of you might have been customers of some of the organizations listed here. Some of you might have, you yourself are loyal customers, frequent purchasers. Some of you might think that these companies are doing really well in terms of customer service, customer satisfaction, or even you think these companies are companies that are able to create and capture customer value. All right. So today we're going to talk a little bit more about some of the companies. Basically, I've picked on a few of these companies that I'm going to share with you. Some of you might already have, probably are a loyal customer of some of the airlines here, like British Airlines, Singapore Airlines. You might have stayed at Four Seasons, for example, or you have been buying, some of the products from P&G. All right. So let us take a look at how some of these companies are able to drive growth in their, within their own industry, and how these companies are able to, create a competitive advantage. Okay, so let me start with British Airways. Okay, it is a service excellence company. British Airways is a company that built on customer engagement. They believe that customer engagement is the key to a company's success. Right, and in fact, in today's generation, it is not about reaching out to customers on Facebook, on Twitter, or other social media. Within the environment, the global environment, now we see the recent credit crunch. We see customers indicating that they require more face-to-face time or engagement with companies. Right, so every part of the business at British Airways, they believe in the brand name, they believe in the mission of the company, they believe in the company's objectives, and they have very good strategies in place for achieving their main, objective, which is linked to customer engagement. All right, so this is how British Airways is able to create a competitive edge even in the midst of the airline competition in the airline industry right now, by focusing on customer orientation. All right, so what it means is to engage the customer. Essentially, this involves giving the customers the opportunity to be the boss. All right, allowing the customers to tell them what are their needs, and what they would like the company to meet, rather than, being forced to go with what the company has there to sell to them. All right. So British Airways is a formidable player in the airline industry. It has adopted a customer-centric approach in its business. All right. So it has operated in the airline business for over 90 years. British Airways flies to over 400 destinations worldwide, and its focus has been consistently on creating and delivering customer value. All right, it is at the forefront of progress and customer service. For example, the airline operated the world's first daily commercial passenger service from the early days of Oslo Heath to Paris. That was in 1919. All right, and currently, what do they have? They invested in about $8 billion USD over the next 5 years on new aircraft. They've invested in smaller cabins, recognizing the need of, having, lower prices, air tickets, for example, so smaller cabins. And they're also using new technologies that can help enhance customers' comfort. They see customer orientation as being important. It has become the thread that shows all the operations and activities at British Airways together. All right, and it looks at its customer segments very carefully, and it associates its brand with quality, satisfaction, and excitement. All right, this is how they actually engages their customers. So the company has built a relationship of trust with its customers over the years, and it has taken its customer engagement policy really, really seriously. All right. In terms of flight and experience and holiday packages, the company goes all the way out to please its customers. Creativity is employed by the organization. They use creative advertising and tactics to satisfy and delight the customers across the different segments, be it leisure customers, business travelers, first-class travelers, all right? And whether the customer flies economy, premium economy, business, or first class, British Airways ensures a lasting positive memory of the brand. All right. The airline makes provision for those with special concerns or complaints about the services. It has very good mechanisms on feedback in place for people to get in touch with the company. The customer relations team that deals with complaints and feedback issues can be reached through email, through post, through telephone, 24/7 chats and all that. All right, and they also provide a level of comfort at the BA lounges. It's really remarkable where they, provide, comfortable lounges, extra services, which acts as a form of added value for its customers. All right. The company actually has about 60 dedicated departure lounges that complement about 90 additional partner lounges worldwide. So that is actually quite a big number, for an airline like that. And within its Heathrow terminal, they already have 6 lounges alone, from different levels depending on the loyalty of the customer, from the Concorde room to the first class lounge, and 3 other club lounges for other lower tier loyal customers. All right. So the cost of this has been estimated at about $96 million, and together they can host up to 2,500 people. So eventually, all these arrangements, all these services, this value-added, features that they have are meant to strengthen BA's connections with its customers and provide and deliver customer value in the transactions with the firm. All right. So from here, you can see British Airways, by adopting a customer-oriented approach, they have delivered world-class hospitality, which puts it at its competitive edge in terms of its business, and it is able to consistently strive to provide the best value for its customer. All right, and as a result, in turn, they are able to create a strong brand value for its customer and in the airline industry. So if you think about the brand equity, British Airways would probably be one of the top few that you can think of. And as a firm of global standard and reputation, British Airways uses the internet extensively. Later, I'm going to talk a little bit more about social media and customer engagement. They are able to engage the customer with the use of social media tools, and the customers are also able to check their timetables, their journeys, and get the latest flight news and information via the internet. All right, via Twitter, via social media, via Facebook. And it has excellent customer engagement activities, and this has earned them several awards in the recent years. For example, it received the Global Travel Awards in January 2012. Okay, and it has a Gold Award for the best UK-based airline. The company was recognized for providing the best flight experience in flights to Europe, and it was named the favorite business airline in June and September 2012, respectively, right? And it's also the winning consumer super brand of 2014, securing the top position among an entry of 1,500 other brands. All right, these are just some of the few of the many accolades that the company had received for its social media and customer engagement activities. All right, and in addition to that, BA supports more than 40 charities on the belief that, of giving back to the society, on the belief of CSR, on the belief that if the company works actively towards the good of the society, customers will automatically benefit and appreciate the effort. As a result of that, there will be brand loyalty, and the company will have sustainable profits in the long run. Okay, so this is just one example of how British Airways has become a successful global company by just building on being customer-centric, being customer-focused, engaging in customer engagement, and having a customer orientation to its business company-wide. Okay, so the question, how can companies, top global companies, drive growth further? Right? They can engage in several different strategies. They can engage in, customer relationship management or marketing management, where they need to focus on the right target segments and build profitable relationships with their target segments. All right? And as a result, they need to create, deliver, and communicate value to their customers. All right. Later, I'll talk a little bit more about, perceived value and how you can create and position this kind of value. We can also look at some excellent case studies. All right. And in terms of engaging in, customer relationship management or marketing management, we also need to look at it from the perspective of managing your customers, selecting the target segment that are profitable and serving them well, and focusing on them using all the resources that the company has, and focus on your first, the top few tiers of high net worth customers, for example. And then, on the other hand, you want to manage demand. Demand management means that, during the peak period for British Airways, for example, then, because there is more demand than what they can supply, they can then increase the price, they can adjust pricing accordingly. And sometimes we want to penalize customers who are not, profitable. All right, I'll talk a little bit more later, but in an example of maybe banks, some banks have very many accounts, but some of the accounts, if you look carefully at them, they're not profitable at all. They can, be senior citizens with no savings, having been with the bank for maybe 50 years. We practice demand management. We try to tell them nicely, we do not want to have a relationship with you. Maybe you start charging account keeping fees of perhaps $2 a month. All right, so as to cover your fixed cost of operating. So you manage them accordingly. You choose the good ones and you penalize the not so good customers. Okay, so this brings us to the focus where I'm going to talk about today about customer centricity, where we are looking at delivering on customer value, customer focus. So how can you focus on, delivering customer centricity? You have to be able to define your target segment, which is part of, marketing management and CRM. After you have looked at who your segments are, you need to learn more about them. All right, and then you need to align. After you find out about their needs, you need to align your internal technologies, processes to meet their needs. And along the way, maybe through blueprinting, through flow charting, you try to map out customer service journeys, front end, back end, bottlenecks, and keep on improving. And if there's a complaint, you try to map out, the service recovery. So you have these SOPs in place, and along the way, you want to engage your leadership and staff so that they believe in customer service excellence internally. We want everyone within the organization to have embraced this mindset. So we talk about internal marketing, which I'll talk about later. And then slowly you work towards, transforming your culture, aligning your reward systems such that you give your frontline employees the autonomy to recover a failed service. You make them motivated because you focus a lot on internal service quality. Your internal customers, which are your employees, will feel loyal. There will be loyalty to the company, and then they will feel motivated to work hard in terms of service delivery. And along the way, as part of HR practices, you measure your internal customers' performance as well as try to set certain benchmarks based on your feedback on customer-centric KPIs, and improve and incorporate feedback into your service design, and it goes on. And all these aspects are drawn together, and this forms part of a customer-centric organization. All right. So when we talk about customer centricity, we are also looking at CRM. What is CRM? Just basically is about building and maintaining profitable customer relationships. And how do you do that? You want to deliver superior customer value, and you want to derive satisfaction. And when we talk about customer satisfaction, we are thinking about, do not overpromise, but you exceed in terms of delivery. All right, so you over-deliver the service, but you under-promise. Because satisfaction is a perspective of measuring the expectations and perceptions of a service. All right. Okay, so CRM, we know that there are two parts in terms of managing customers. You want to be able to acquire new customers, yet you want to be able to retain your existing customers. And you know that the acquisition part costs 5 to 10 times more. All right, and it will take a lot of effort to reduce the risk, to increase our brand equity, to familiarize customers with our products and services so that customer would try our product or services. And once we acquire the customer, we need to spend the effort to retain them in the long run. All right, and marketers need to be concerned about the lifetime value of the customer and not just acquiring without thinking about longevity and retention and ongoing relationships. Okay, so if we take a look at Walmart, they have these famous customer service rules. Rule number 1, the customer is always right. And if the customer is wrong, refer to rule number 1, the customer is always right. Some organizations practice that. All right, they have a service-driven culture. All right, giving like Walmart is a good example. However, in these days, I also need to highlight to you that we cannot totally follow this customer service rule, fully. Why? Because what if the customer misbehaves? And we have seen occurrence of this customer misbehavior quite frequently now. Because customers are expecting more and more, they think that they are king, and as a result, they think that the frontline service employee would have to give in to all their whims and fancy. All right, and this is where we step back and ask ourselves: are these people our target customer? We need to be very careful. We need to select our customers, the profitable ones, and work on, the relationship building. But however, there is another group of customers, like the J customer, which we do not want to, have dealings with them. All right, and who are these people? These people are J customers. They behave in a thoughtless, abusive fashion. They come and abuse the frontline employee. They have, far-fetched demands, cause problems. Imagine checking in at the front desk of a hotel, someone, creating problems, complaining over the most smallest thing, and causing a service failure, which will also impact on not only the frontline employee, but also other customers. Right? So for firms where you have frontline, employees delivering a service, contact employees, we need to be able to highlight these J customers and manage them accordingly. Because J customers will disrupt your service processes. It will affect the service quality, not only for the frontline employee, but also for other customers. Imagine you're in a fine dining restaurant and you have a customer suddenly kick up a big a complaint, stood up and start shouting. It will disrupt the service experience of other customers in the service scape. All right, so we need to be able to spot the J customers and take them aside, deal with the complaint, and try to find ways. If you can't handle the complaint, ask another manager to step in. But in essence, you do not want this kind of customers within the service scape, or you do not want to do business with this kind of customers. All right, so at this point, I would like to share with you my favorite organization, service excellent company, Amazon.com. I'm sure most of you have heard about this company, and maybe some of you are actually keeping an account with Amazon.com. Myself, I buy online through Amazon.com at least once a month, and I have been so delighted recently since they came out with the policy of free shipping over 125 USD to Singapore and India. All right, so what makes them so successful? When you think of online shopping, Chances are you would probably first think about Amazon.com. This online pioneer first opened its virtual doors in 1995. All right, selling just books out of the founder's garage. Amazon still sell books right now, but they sell much more than books. They sell everything else, such as music, electronics, tools, houseware, groceries, apparel, loose diamonds, lobsters, anything you can think of, even cars. Okay? And from the start, Amazon has grown explosively. Its annual sales have rocketed from a modest of $150 million in 1997 to now more than $48 billion. All right? So the question is, what has made Amazon such an amazing success story? The founder, CEO, Jeff Bezos, puts it in 3 simple words. Obsess over customers. It might be a simple term for us, but let's look at how they actually operationalize obsess over customers. All right, to its core, the company is relentless customer-driven. The thing that drives everything within the company is about creating genuine value for customers. Amazon believes that if it does what's good for customers, profits will follow. All right, so they're taking a outside-in approach to first look at the needs of the customer. So the company starts with the customer and work backwards. Rather than asking what it can do with its current capabilities, with its strengths, it asks themselves the service concept. Who are our customers? What do they need? And they start answering this question. Then it starts developing whatever capabilities are required to meet those customer needs. Amazon's obsession with serving the needs of its customer drives the company to take risks, and it drives the company to innovate in ways that other companies dare not. They have moved into blue oceans where other companies are not willing to take such risks. For example, when it noted that its first book buying customers needed better access to ebooks and other digital content, Amazon developed the Kindle e-reader, its first ever original product. And the Kindle took more than 4 years and a whole new set of skills to develop. They are venturing out of their comfort zone. All right. Amazon start with the customer thinking paid off handsomely. The Kindle is now actually the company's #1 selling product. And Amazon.com now sells more ebooks than hardcover and paperbacks and combined. And what's more, the company's new Kindle Fire tablet now leads the market for low-price tablet computers. Thus, what started as an effort to simply improve the customer experience now gives Amazon a powerful presence in the world of digital media. And not only now does the Kindle allow access to ebooks, music, videos, and apps sold by Amazon, it makes the online interaction with the online giant more easier. And as a result of that, they are able to build on their strong customer relationship and nurture and take that a step further. All right. So this is one good example of a company that dare to venture out of its its comfort zone to meet the needs of its customers. And now you might be thinking, all right, so what is CRM about? All right, CRM is about customer value. It's about customer satisfaction. And when we talk about customer value, we need to look at it from the perspective of customer perceived value. All right, so how can we find out about customer value? It's not through you, it's not through me, it's not through the employees, it's through talking to the customer, engaging the customers. And how do we derive customer satisfaction? We try to create certain expectations about the service, and we exceed, not only meet, we want to exceed them, right? And as a result of exceeding expectations, there is customer satisfaction. And with customer satisfaction, there is customer loyalty. And with customer loyalty, there is customer retention. Of course, we know about the benefits of customer loyalty, positive word of mouth. Customers are more willing to give the company a second chance if there's service failure. Satisfaction increases, and customers go around being advocate for the company. Delighting consumers should be the goal, the wow effect. I'll share a case study on a company that does this really well. All right. So the benefits of customer loyalty is really growing the customer share of the market, cross-selling and upselling. Basically, we want to do more than increasing market share. We want to increase the share of the customer wallet. We want a customer to spend all his monthly salary with the company. All right, not just upselling and cross-selling. So customer value, like I mentioned, it is based on an overall assessment. If you think about some, a basic service, when you think about customer value, you might be thinking about what you have paid, like price. As a result of the price, what are the benefits? So it is actually a perception, which is an overall assessment of what you receive, utilities, benefits, and what you have given, the cost in terms of opportunity cost, search cost, money as well. All right, and firms need to understand customers' needs and customers' perceived value. That is very, very important. I would like to take a step to let you take a time to reflect on this. Why do marketers, we know we need to, understand our customers' needs, but why do marketers not always understand customers' needs? How can they better do that? All right, why do they miss the mark? Why? Could it be because they are not listening to the customers? Could it be because they have some preconceived notions about what they think the customer wants? And how can we better understand their needs? Research, talk to the customers, track, measure, look into the social media, look at the forums, look at the communities of practices, look at Twitter, see what they're talking about you, especially with social media right now. It is very easy for companies to just put a head count in to track what has been going on in terms of customers' online viral comments about your brand, about your products, about your service. And if you are able to spot dissatisfaction, please contact the customer, engage in service recovery. Right? So when we talk about understanding customer needs, this is a whole new topic on customer insights, research and all that. But right now, I just want to focus on service quality. A lot of firms strive to deliver service quality, but they do not know how to go about exactly. All right. So in terms of service quality, we need to look at service quality as not just a one-off transaction, but an ongoing service encounter where, for example, at a hotel, service, I talk to the check-in person, I put my luggage at the concierge, I go into the room, the bellboy deliver my luggage to my room, I order room service, I eat in the F&B later, and the housekeeping came to, put in a fruit basket in my room. All these little service encounters, they are all summed together as a holistic service encounter. And as a result, when I check out of the hotel stay, all these little critical incident techniques, all these critical incidents will add to a summation, holistic, evaluation of the service quality, of the service offering. All right? And service quality is determined by 5 dimensions you can see here. These 5 dimensions are based on research by Parasurama, Zettermer, and et al., who are the founders, the gurus in terms of looking at service quality. What they say is service quality can be broken down into these 5 dimensions. Basically, tangibles. The appearance of physical facilities, equipment, personnel, even the uniform, the communication materials, the marketing collaterals, advertisements that you put out externally, reliability. The ability to perform the promised service dependably, accurately. Are your employees well trained? Do they know much about what they're delivering, the service? All right. Responsiveness. The willingness of your employees to help customers. If they have a customer-centric, customer-oriented, service-oriented mindset, they will be more than willing, to rush to meet the needs of the customers, to respond to the customers promptly. All right. And assurance. The knowledge of the employees, are they courteous enough? Do they have the ability to convey trust, to instill confidence in the company's products and services? All right. And finally, empathy. Are they able to provide caring service, individualized, personalized attention to the customers? These are all very important variables of service quality. And now you might be asking yourself, so what can I do with this? There are actually survey skills out there for you to use to implement to track each of these dimensions of service quality. Myself, I have conducted many research studies for hospitality, in the tourism, in education, in retail, that actually tracks service quality of different organizations. You run a survey, and after the survey, you collect the feedback, and then you start to take a look. Maybe you're not doing well on tangibles, and these are the specific things that you're not doing well on. You're scoring really low. You might want to then dedicate certain resources for the year to just focus on, improving your tangibles, as a result, improving your service quality. And you can do further, analysis to look at which of these dimensions bring about customer loyalty, which of these dimensions will bring about, relationship longevity with the firm. So it's a lot of, back-end data gathering. However, it gives you good insights into what the customer perceives as important for your company. All right. By focusing on improving these dimensions, you can improve the service of the company. All right. And with service quality, research has shown that there will be loyalty. And I would like to just take some time to share with you about loyalty. Be very careful. Don't just think about customer loyalty as a total concept. There's different types of customer loyalty. The best scenario would be to have premium loyalty, where the customer not only come to your shop and buy from you 3-4 times a week, they also think highly, a good attitude about the company's service. In instances where there are spurious loyalty, for example, I always go to the same petrol station next door to my house. All right, I have a high repeat patronage, but I don't care, even if I go somewhere else. Doesn't matter what brand, doesn't matter what type of petrol. Similarly, grocery stores. I don't care, which grocery store I go to, as long as I get my milk, and convenience is a factor. So I have spurious loyalty. So for customers like that, how can you capture this kind of spurious loyalty? They are always, coming to your store, but they do not have a good attitude towards your brand, towards your products, towards your services. So you try to change your attitude, through repositioning, through using advertising, through using different direct marketing, engaging the customers more. And then you have customers who are latent in loyalty. For these kind of customers, maybe you want to think about not serving them. Why? Because they do not come to your company. For example, I have very good attitudes about Ritz-Carlton, or Four Seasons for that matter. But I do not have the money to stay in Four Seasons. So basically, I'm not their target segment. So for some customers where there's latent loyalty, they are not within your target segment. You do not have to worry about them. All right. And for some customers with no loyalty at all, that is another scenario. But you might need to think about these customers. Do you want to even, open up this segment? There are some companies who have saturated the market. A good example would be General Electric. And they are thinking, how can we grow better? How can we grow Nestle, for example? And they are looking at opening new market segments like the bottom of the pyramid marketing, where they realize that, a huge population in the world survive on less than $2 a day. So why not? We come up with innovative products, innovative services, use innovation to meet the needs of these customers at the bottom of the pyramid. They might not have loyalty. They might not even have heard of our company, but we can provide access for them to access our products, like Maggi, Nestle, coming up with a really cheap brand of Maggi noodles just for people in rural India, for example. Or GE coming up with a handheld cardiogram where they can now bring health services into the rural parts of India. All right? So these are innovative ways to growing a company, reaching out to a new segment of customers at the bottom of the pyramid. Right? This is just one example. Okay, and at this moment, I would like to share with you how Nike, a successful company, is able to build deep brand customer relationships. All right, so during the 1980s, I'm sure most of you are probably loyal customers of Nike then. Nike revolutionized sports marketing. To build its brand image, to increase its market share, Nike lavishly outspent all its competitors on big name brand endorsements, even to today, splashy promotional events, big budget, in your face, just do it advertisements. Okay, and Nike gave customers more than just good athletic gear. They gave customers, well produced products where they stress on their technical performance of their shoes, their products, their apparel, and they build relationships between the brand and its customers. Beyond shoes, beyond apparel, beyond equipment, Nike marketed a way of life, a genuine passion for sports, a just do it attitude. They are trying to engage the emotions of their customers. All right. And customers didn't just wear Nike back then. They experienced the brand. And as the company stated on its webpage, Nike has always known the truth. It's not so much the shoes, but where they take you. All right. So Nike powered its way through the early 1990s, aggressively adding products in a dozen new sports like baseball, golf, skateboarding, climbing, bicycling, hiking, and the young company just slapped its brand and the swoosh logo on everything from sunglasses to soccer balls to gloves, golf gloves, golf clubs. It seemed that things couldn't be going any better in the 1990s for Nike. However, in the late 1990s, they stumbled and its sales slipped. As the company grew bigger, its creative juices ran dry. Buyers are seeking a new look and they start switching to competitors' brands like Adidas. Looking back, Nike's biggest obstacle may have been its own incredible success. As sales grew, the swoosh may have become too common to be cool. Instead of being anti-establishment, Nike was the establishment and customers started switching to competitors. All right, so the hip, once hot relationship with its customers has cooled. Nike needed to rekindle its brand's meaning with its consumers. That is very, very important. All right, not just to focus on growth, but returning to the core. So to turn things around, Nike returned to its roots. New product innovation and a focus on customer relationships. It is set out to forge a new kind of relationships with its customer. It called it the brand, the customer brand connection. It is trying to build an even deeper and even more evolving customer relationship. This time round, rather than just outspending competitors on media ads, on celebrity endorsement, they want to be the talk of, around the customer. So they shifted the budget from digital age, marketing to social marketing, where they use social media to interact with their customers. And as a result, they are able to build brand experiences, they are able to build brand community, and they just, blew up its single slogan approach and drafted a whole new playbook for the digital era. And right now, Nike still invests heavily in creative advertising. It is still required. But it is spending big budget TV and print ads, less on its big budget print, TV and print media, but more on, moving the lion's share of its budget into, non-traditional media. For example, community-oriented, digitally led social media tools. And right now, Nike is building communities with its customers, talking about the brand, talking about the experiences. Nike has mastered social networking, both offline and online. So whether the customers get to know Nike through the advertisements, in-person events at the Nike store, or through its Facebook or YouTube channel, one of the many community websites, people are now bonding closely with the Nike brand experience. Okay, so going back to its core, using social media, connecting with the customer. And thanks to all these efforts, now Nike is able to use new digital and social media approaches to build a new kinship and a sense of community with and between the brand and its customers. All right, they have developed a repertoire of interactive approaches that connect the brand directly with the customers. As a result of this, Nike remains the world's largest sport apparel company. It has a full 30%, its market share is a full 30% bigger than its closest rival Adidas. Over the past 5 years, even as the faltering economy left most sports apparel and footwear competitors grasping for breath, Nike's global sales has remained the strongest and its income has raced ahead. All right. So from this case study, you are able to see how deep brand customer relationships can be used as a competitive advantage, where Nike is now once again very close to its customers, maybe as close as the early days. And Nike is blurring the line between brand and experience. You know, customers are now connecting with not only the product, the advertising. Connecting with Nike today is an ongoing dialogue. All right, so this is another interesting case study of engaging with the customers. So at this point, I would like to share with you. We have talked about external marketing from the company to the customers, and we also talk about how companies can use social media to engage in interactive marketing. And there is also this important component which I talk about when I talk about customer centricity, which is internal marketing. All right? What is internal marketing? It is about service profit chain. And people who believe in this, okay, would believe that internal service quality, treating your employees as customers, giving them a customer-centric mindset, will bring about satisfied and productive service employees because they are happy customers. And as a result, there's greater service value, and they can deliver this service value in terms of customer value, which brings about satisfied and loyal customers, which brings about healthy profits, relationship longevity for the firm. All right? So this is just a service profit chain in a snapshot, which focus a lot on internal marketing. So at this point, there's one company that is very well known with its internal marketing, which is Four Seasons. Back to the concept of customer centricity, where we talk about engaging leadership and employees. This is one very important component in customer centricity. All right? And Four Seasons has perfected the art of this. High touch, carefully crafted customer service. You know, whereby guests do not mind paying $1,000 or more a night to expect to have their minds read when they check into Four Seasons. And this luxury hotel doesn't disappoint their customers. Its mission is to perfect the travel experience through the highest standards of hospitality. You know, if you go into Four Seasons, from its elegant surroundings to its finest quality to its caring, highly personalized 24/7 service. Four Seasons embodies a true home away from home for those who know and appreciate the best. Okay, so from the CEO to the doorman, they will tell you the same thing. The quality of Four Seasons staff is the most important. Its people are the heart and the soul of the company, and that makes the company successful. All right, that's what the CEO believes in. And when we say people are the most important asset, it's not just taught at Four Seasons. Just as it does for its customers, Four Seasons respects and pampers its employees. They know that customers, internal customers or employees, when they're happy and satisfied, that will bring about happy and satisfied customers. Okay? So what do? At Four Seasons, they have this golden rule. Treat others as you wish to be treated. Four Seasons brings the customer service culture to life. How did they do it? They hire the best people, they orientate them carefully, they instill in them a sense of pride to put on the Four Seasons uniform, they motivate them by recognizing and rewarding outstanding service deeds. It all starts with hiring the right people who fit their culture. Every applicant, whether it's a receptionist, a manager, a pool manager, a backroom financial manager, they undergo multiple job interviews. They look for the employee that shares the golden rule. People who by nature believe in treating others as they would have them treat us. Once on board, all new employees receive 3 months of training, including improvisation exercises that helps them to fully understand customer needs and behavior. And at Four Seasons, the training never stops. And most important, once it has the right people in place, Four Seasons treats them as it would its most important VIP guests. Compared with competition, Four Seasons salaries are in the 75th to 90th percentile, and it has generous retirement and profit sharing plans. All right, it gives its employee free resort stays, 3 nights per year. After that, after 6 months, they get 6 nights per year. And, the room stays makes the employee understand how it is like to be treated as customers. All right. So as a result of this, the Four Seasons staff, they just love the hotel as much as the customers do. although the guests can check in and out anytime, the employees never want to leave. In fact, the annual turnover for full-time employees is only 18% per year, which is half the industry average at Four Seasons Hotel. So Four Seasons has been included for 15 years straight on Fortune magazine's list of 100 best companies to work for. And the biggest secret to its success is creating customer satisfaction and value. And this involves more than just having competitive strategies in place, but having it from down to the top. At Four Seasons, creating customer value is a company-wide affair. All right. So this is an example of a company that has practiced internal marketing. And then we go on to talk about other concepts in CRM. We talk about customer acquisition, we talk about retention. And when we think about acquisition, retention, we think about equity of the customer. We want to believe that the customer has a lifetime value with the firm, that the relationship is one of longevity and not a one-off transactional one. All right, so there are different tools that you can use depending on what kind of customers you have. Basic relationships for customers at the entry level, maybe in banks. All right, maybe we have special privileges for customers with a certain amount of funds with the bank, and then full relationships for customers with higher net worth. And then we have customer loyalty programs, retention programs, very common everywhere. There are different ways you can do it. You can use financial bonds, like collecting frequent flyer points, credit card points, buy 10 get 1 free kind financial benefits. You can have social benefits. If you think about the hairdresser, I don't know about all of you here. Do you go back to the same hairdresser every year? I do. I go back to my same hairdresser to get my hair cut. Not because she's good at it, because I just enjoy chit-chatting while waiting for a hair color. Friendships. There are some research conducted that looks at friendships over the counter. Are we able to form friendships with our customers? If we do, if we can, there will be social benefits for the firm in terms of loyalty and longevity for the company. That is why some of the banks, they come up with their, relationship marketing team where they have a team of, people serving the customer and hoping that there will be friendships, and sometimes, and I myself is a witness of that, that when my relationship banker moved from bank A to bank B, I moved from bank A to bank B. And in the recent years, banks realized that. They realized that there's a difference in customer loyalty to the company and customer loyalty to the employee. Because customer loyalty to the employee will give rise to customer loyalty to the company. But we do not want too much of a customer loyalty to the frontline employee. In case the employee defects, the company would lose the customer. So a lot of firms these days have formed a team of employees servicing an important client. All right, so that's about social benefits. And then we have structural benefits. If you think about a mortgage loan, when you're in a contract, you're stuck. Yes, we are in a relationship with the bank. It's going to be a 4-year, 5-year contract, a fixed contract. However, there is high, behavioral, repeat patronage with the bank, but probably no positive attitude and loyalty. So we need to think about all this. How are structural ties being used? Are we able to, build on social benefits? Are we able to engage these customers further? Are we able to use direct marketing to form a one-on-one relationship with these customers such that not only do they have structural ties, we also use social benefits to lock in our loyal customers. All right, things that you can think about. And at this moment, I would like to talk to you about Singapore Airlines. That's my favorite company. All right, they are at the forefront of providing innovative service quality, of course, because they are the first to offer satellite, TV, the first with renowned chefs, the first to have, handphones, internet, and everything. And regularly, they create a wow effect to surprise their customers. Not easy, but they are very innovative in terms of, delivering services that surpasses, the expectations of their customers. It all boils down to well-trained, competent, and empowered service staff. And they do have loyalty programs in place. Like I mentioned, there's different tiers of loyalty programs. All right, the basic for the quiz flyer, and the elite, and then the higher levels, the solitaire PPS club. So as you progress, as the longer you are with the company, the more you spend, you get promoted. All right, depending on the financial bonds. And once you reach the PPS and solitaire PPS club, the company can then start working on relational bonds, social bonds, friendships, right, to better lock in these high net worth customers. So we're looking at moving from transactional-based marketing to relationship marketing. Gone are the days where we just want a one-off selling approach. We want to have a relationship with our customer. We want to connect with them. We want to have new customers through acquisition, move to become regular purchaser, to become loyal supporter of the company, to become an advocate of the company. Where there is a service failure, we are more than happy to let the company take steps to recover the service. Where the company had a blunder in terms of its crisis communication or management, we will stand there and speak for the company. All right, we are happy to be, opinion leaders who draw the crowd to say good things about the company. All right, we want to have advocates. We want to achieve something like that. Actually, when I was looking at some of the images, I saw some, customers having tattoos of Microsoft. If you do a loyalty Google on images or tattoo, you can see there are customers who tattoo the company's logo or brand name and walk around, breathing and living the company. Mac fanatics, loyal Apple users, all right? Harley-Davidson bikers, they can queue 2 to 3 years to 5 years for a bike, and they would tattoo Harley-Davidson on their arms, all right? A close-knitted group of loyal customers. How can we spot them? How can we nurture them? How can we engage them? How can we co-create and add value, deliver customer value to them, delight them? This is an example of the different levels of relationship and loyalty programs in a bank. About 10 years ago, a simple bank like UOB in Singapore, they only have 2 tiers of loyalty. Right now, if I go into the website, they have up to 4 tiers of loyalty. The highest tier being private bank. Look at the amount, US $5 million in investable assets. These are the high net worth customers. These are the people, even though they are a small group, you want to be able to engage them and keep them within the company. That will help the firm grow. All right, the use of new social media platform, that's very important everywhere now. All right, we need to be able to manage this, using this to communicate to our customers. It takes many forms. Some of the new social media content can be consumer generated, like blogs. Consumer can put something about the company, and these are free publicity for the company. All right, new technologies. How can we use Facebook, Twitter? How can we use big data and analytics to engage in CRM, to mine, to do data mining, to have touch points with our customers, to keep a track on where they go on the internet, to even keep a track on where they walk within the retail shop. Using a smartphone, switching on the Wi-Fi, you can know their shopping pattern, you know their browsing pattern. All right, from there, you mine the data. You try to understand the customer better. I've seen some successful case studies of how companies, small SMEs, invested huge amount from their perspective, because they are small companies, into big data, analysis, and using that for direct marketing. Just last month, a homegrown company in Singapore, and they reap rewards using direct marketing to connect with the customers. They are able to increase their profits, grow the company more, by using direct marketing, by using CRM, by analyzing the data that's around. There's a lot of big data all around us. You need to start looking up on how to use them creatively. All right, there's a changing marketing landscape. Because people are connected, a lot of tools available. How can us as marketers use all these to gain better insights, to understand the needs of our customers, so that we can then think about ways to engage them better? Media is fragmenting. Maybe some of you are here, tuning into the webinar, watching TV, tweeting, on the webinar, planning for dinner tonight. All right. However, the growth of such technologies and tools has allowed companies to narrow cast rather than broadcast. No longer we see a one-on-one, communication model, a one-to-many communication model. We see a one-on-one. No longer you need to have flashy ads in the TV, because anyway they're going to use TiVo to zap away your ads. Instead of a one-to-many, we are looking for a one-to-one through narrowcasting, through social media, through Twitter, through one-on-one, through direct marketing, through CRM. All right, how can we do that? Have brochures, newsletters, virtual storefront. Some of the retail malls have become very, very, tech savvy. QR codes along the way, scan, promotions as you walk to somewhere, Wi-Fi detected, 20% off a drink, get a drink, walk to somewhere else, take a dress, put it on, don't even need to try it. You have a digital, dressing room, don't even need to take the time to go in, drop everything into the shopping cart, check out, send to your house. Isn't that cool? The use of technology, right? And online communities and forums. People are now spending a lot of time tweeting, going online, talking about things. How can we, embrace this technology for better customer co-creation and engagement? How can we do that? Let us look at this case study. Okay, a successful case study, P&G, on how they are able to use social media tools for product research development. All right. So P&G, as you have all known, is a company that markets about 300 mega brands worldwide, nearly 84 billion in annual revenues. The P&G brands touch the lives of 4.4 billion people around the world every single day. Since its founding 175 years ago, P&G has set a gold standard for breakthrough innovation, for new product development in the fast-moving consumer goods industry. For example, its Tide detergent, introduced in the late 1940s, was the first synthetic laundry detergent for automatic washing machines. Its Pampers was the most successful disposable diaper. And when Pampers entered into China, they took China by storm. They are the first to enter China. They changed the perceptions of customers there. They teach them how it is important to appreciate the needs of having disposable diapers that helps the baby sleep better, having better brain development. They reposition, the customers. They try to appeal to the customers to help them understand the needs of having disposable diapers versus cloth diapers back in those days. And they launched a big campaign on it, and as a result, they are now the most top selling brand in China for diapers. All right, and also they have the Crest whitening strips that revolutionized at-home teeth whitening. They have a lot of top-notch innovative products. Okay, until recently, most of the company's innovations actually came from their own research and development labs. P&G invests $2 billion a year in their R&D, 50% more than other competitors combined. The consumer products giant employs more than 8,000 R&D researchers in 26 facilities around the globe, some of the best research talent in the world. But even with this hefty investment, their own research labs can't provide the quality of innovation required to meet the needs, the growth needs of the consumers all around the world. All right. So about 10 years ago, they shook up its R&D process. It transitioned from internal R&D to external R&D. Okay? What did they do? They replaced its 8,000 researchers. They want to leverage better. They realize in today's important innovation is going to happen. Where? Outside of the company. In the minds of the customers, entrepreneur companies, universities, government labs all around the world. Every researcher working at P&G. They can include scientists, engineers, elsewhere, millions in all. They can contribute to new product ideas much better than what is inside the company, the P&G, researchers. All right. So thanks to the internet, the world's talent markets are increasingly linked through social media. P&G now need to embrace its not invented here culture to one that embraces ideas found elsewhere. We need to change how we are defined, they said. All right. So with this objective in mind, they launch, connect, and develop. If you have the time, do take a look at the website. It is actually a major crowdsourcing program that uncovers promising innovative ideas from outside sources anywhere in the world. The Connect and Develop website invites entrepreneurs, scientists, engineers, researchers, even consumers themselves to submit ideas for new technologies, new product design, new packaging, new marketing models, new research methodologies, new engineering, new promotional campaign, anything that has the potential to create better products and services that will help P&G meet the needs of its customers, to improve the lives of its customers around the world more completely. All right? So truly, P&G collaborates with Global Innovation Network. 50% of its innovations involves some kind of external partner. And the Connect and Develop website has resulted in more than 1,000 active agreements. And the long list of new successful products that brought to the market through this Connect and Develop website includes among some like the Olay Regenerative, the Swifter Dusters, the Tide Total Care, the Claroy Perfect 10, Oral-B Pulsonic Toothbrush, CoverGirl Eyewear, Febreze Candles, and Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. So from this case study, you can see how, the Connect and Develop crowdsourcing program, where they invite the external world to come in to co-create a product or service, that meets the needs of the external community, the customers. This has opened the minds and doors to external collaboration. Right? It has changed the culture of P&G's R&D and its productivity. It has increased by 60%. Innovation success rate has more than doubled. Even as as we speak, the cost of innovation has fallen at P&G. All right. So this is just a very good example of how a company can just, use a website like that, a simple website, to create a culture of open innovation that can create and generate sustainable growth. All right. At P&G, they want the best mind in the world to work with them to create the biggest idea that can touch and improve the lives of more consumers in more parts of the world more completely. All right, so a good example of the use of social media tools. Take a look at that if you have the time. All right, and I would like to, I'm coming to the end of my, presentation. Okay, if you can see, it's about 1 hour into the presentation, but I would like to take this time to just share with you a very short case study. Because McDonald's is one of my most favorite company. All right, I'm sure it is yours too. All right, so McDonald's, from the start, we know their motto, quality, service, cleanliness, value, is one of the main reasons why McDonald's corporate and marketing strategy and everything in place at McDonald's has made it such a successful fast food company. All right, the company has, convenience, it has good quality food, it has affordable prices. If you put all of this together, there is customer perceived value, definitely. McDonald's grew quickly to become the world's largest fast food feeder. The fast food giant now serves more than 68 million customers each day through more than 33,000 restaurants in 118 countries. It has about 85 billion sales annually, and I'm sure all of you can recognize the golden M, the big M, much more is familiar, much more than even maybe Santa Claus. And I'm sure you know who Ronald McDonald is, other than Santa Claus. All right. In the mid-1990s, however, McDonald's fortunes began to turn. The company has focused too much on expansion and fallen out of touch with its customers. In the 1990s, customers want fresher, better looking food, more contemporary atmosphere, because now then we have the Starbucks and the likes. They are seeking healthier eating options in a new age of health-conscious consumers and, having, eaten at Starbucks, $5 lattes. McDonald's seemed to be a little bit out of step. To fix the problem, the company tried new products. They have everything from pizza to toasted deli sandwiches. All of them failed. So in early 2003, they announced a new strategic blueprint. They call it the Plan to Win strategy. And at the heart of this strategic plan was a new mission statement that refocused the company on its customers. No longer satisfied with being the world's best quick service restaurant, they changed its mission to being one of our customers' favorite place and way to eat. All right, so the company, in line with its new mission and its plan to win program or strategy, introduced 5 basics of exceptional service, including looking at people, looking at products, looking at place, looking at price, looking at promotion. So they have the 4 P's in marketing mix plus the 1 P, people. And this new focus profoundly changed their strategic direction and priorities. All right, rather than just, providing the cheapest, most convenient meals to its customer, they now want to shift its mission, to focus on employees, focus on quality, and focus on overall customer experience, restaurant experience. So under this plan to win strategy, they got back to the basic business of taking care of the customers. The goal was to get better, not to get bigger. So the company halted all its expansion. Instead, it poured money back into improving the food, the service, the atmosphere, the marketing at all the existing outlets. They redecorated its restaurants with clean, simple, more modern interiors, amenities with live plants, Wi-Fi access, flat screen TV showing cable news. They improved the customer experience by making it more convenient, opening it at the longer opening hours, extending breakfast hours, serving late night dinners, and at more than 1/3 of McDonald's restaurants now actually open 24 hours. Actually, just a week ago, I went into McDonald's and was so shocked to see they have vases of roses on each of the table in McDonald's. It is no longer a cheap fast food concept, but it gave a pleasant, dining experience for customers. All right. So McDonald's in this case study was able to rediscover its dedication to customer value, and it has resulted in nothing short of, focusing on plan to win. All right. So with its plan to win strategy in place, McDonald's total restaurant sales increased by 87%, profits nearly quadrupled, and the McDonald's stock price has tripled. Boy, if only I bought McDonald's stock price during the 1990s. I would be smiling to the bank now, right? Okay, so this is an interesting case study about focusing on the customer, going, moving along with change, looking at innovative ways, or going back to the basics. Okay, I've come to the end of my session. It's about an hour into the time, and I would like to take this time to share with you, maybe just take a look at some of the Global Next partners that we have, and we do offer customized leadership programs. In fact, we have this upcoming program on customer centricity, all right, where we will talk a little bit more about some of the features that you can see here, acquisition of customer, where we'll be talking about, segmentation, targeting, selecting the right targets, how you're going to appeal and position to them. We're going to cover customer intimacy, how you can actually create competitive advantage, touch base with the right groups of customers, be intimate, get to know them better. And through doing that, you need to have, good, background in customer intelligence, using big data, undertaking market research, gaining customers' insight. And then how you can then use all this information to impact the customer in terms of a customer value framework, customer service delivery framework, how to manage customer expectations, customer service, even talking about the serve-core skill to track service dimensions, to improve on your, own service delivery. And finally, customer connect, which we talked about external communications, external marketing, using integrated marketing comms tool to have a one-on-one relationship with your customer. Okay, using social media as well as one of the tools. All right, so at this point in time, I would like to take some questions, any comments. You may use the mic or you may type in the chat box. Let me make sure I can see the chat box. Okay. Okay, I saw some questions. Okay, I'll go from the bottom. Late dinner, breakfast, McDonald's, yes. Comment on that. McDonald's, yep. Oh, what percentage of good CRM is due to innovation? Actually, CRM is different from innovation. All right, CRM is really about, knowing who your customers are, listening to them, connecting with them, and innovation. When I talk about innovation, coming up with new product ideas, new services ideas, that is as part of research and development. And, innovation, innovative products and services are known to meet the needs of the customers, and as a result, there is customer value. All right, but CRM is much more than just, having innovative products and services. You need to connect with the customer. You need to use social media. You can use direct marketing. You can use one-on-one marketing, depending on the needs of the customer. Some customers prefer to use the traditional newspaper. They prefer traditional snail mail. Some customers do not mind, having, social media, Twitter. So we need to be able to segment the market, understand how they can be, reached out to, have different touch points available so that everyone within our target segment are able to connect with the company. Okay, I have a question about latent loyalty. Latent loyalty are customers who do not have real good loyalty. Latent loyalty customers are customers who do not have a strong behavioral patronage behavior. So for me, my example of a latent loyalty is someone like me who would love Ritz-Carlton. All right, favorable attitudes. Favorable attitudinal loyalty. All right, I love Ritz-Carlton. I say good things about Ritz-Carlton, or I say good things about Four Seasons because I've done a case study on it. I know it's great, but I've never stayed at the Four Seasons. So I have favorable attitudinal loyalty, but I have no behavioral loyalty. So that is called latent loyalty. Not so good to have. Okay, the best situation is to have premium loyalty, because loyalty can be seen as attitudinal loyalty, where it is about attitudes, saying good things, and the behavioral loyalty part, which is the repatronage and repeat purchase, where you actually spend. All right, we want to have high repatronage and also good attitudes. That is true loyalty. Bottom line branding. Okay. So any other questions? Anyone want to pick up a mic? You can raise your hand. Or you can unmute. I think you should be able to speak. If a firm directly markets, will it not affect? If a firm directly markets, will it not affect the retailers? Okay. When we talk about direct marketing, I do have some slides on that, but I didn't prepare it today. But basically, let's say Nike store. Nike store can have the Nike website selling products to consumers. Nike as a manufacturer can use retailers. They can sell Nike products at a retail store. Nike can also have a direct online website, and Nike can also have its own Nike store. So there's different ways where that Nike can move the products from consumer to the market. Okay? And a firm, if the manufacturer is able to sell direct to the market, of course it will, affect the retailers' profits and all that. This is where, in another course I would cover about, conflict in the, supply chain management. Okay, some firms like Black & Decker, they sell products to end users through retailers only, and they try to reduce a conflict in the vertical part by not selling directly to end users. So Black & Decker has a website that gives a lot of information about their products, talk a little bit more about their product, but they will direct customers to their retailers to buy the product. All right, so they are giving support to the retailers. So as a result, there is no vertical conflict, in terms of reaching out from the product to the customer. But some firms use a mixture of channels. They sell direct, they sell through retailers, they sell online, they have their own store, they sell through salespeople. All right, so there's different ways. We call it channel management. Sometimes there will be conflict, sometimes there will not be. But if the firm allow a retailer to carry their product to the end user, they would then give them a high markup to offset. All right, so the retailer is willing to, distribute their products. Okay, let me take a look at other comments. Tangibles. Okay, the tangibles dimension in service quality is actually very interesting. The other four dimensions are actually process related. Intangible, you cannot see it. The only dimension in service quality that you can see is tangibles. as a result, a lot of companies actually use the tangible dimension to signal the intangible effect of service quality. So let's say I want to go for a tooth remover. Okay, I have a toothache. And which dentist would I choose? I cannot try it out. A service cannot be tried before you consume it. It is intangible. So I would rely on the tangible. So what I would do is I would look at, I would do some Google, find out about the writing, word of mouth about this person, the doctor, dentist. I would probably go into the dental clinic and then look up and see, whether there is, certificates on the wall to say that this is the best dentist of the year and all that. So tangibles help signal quality. All right? So if I choose a clinic because it is like the Mayo Clinic, I have another, I used to share about a case study on Mayo Clinic. They are a very good example of a company being healthcare, being intangibles, of how they use tangibles to signal quality by having a clean clinic, up-to-date facilities, doctors who follow up with patients, doctors who adjust their schedule to suit the appointments of the patients. So these are ways where we use the tangibles to signal a good quality. So that is the tangible dimension of service quality. Basically, is anything you can see, anything that is tangible. The appearance, the physical facilities, the marketing collaterals, the equipment, the personnel, their uniform, their certificates on the wall, anything that you can see that signal the quality of the service before consumption would be the tangibles of the service. How do you deal with J customer? We do not want to do business with them. All right, we can, for example, if there's a complaint at the front desk, if you cannot resolve it, we'll ask the J customer to go aside. If you realize some companies do blacklist some of the customers, they do not want to serve them. All right, so we try to solve it on the spot. If they really, really cannot, then we would probably one-off, give them a little bit of, a service recovery. However, we make a note not to accept a reservation from this customer ever. All right, we try to disassociate ourselves with J customers. But the first thing is to be able to spot them, all right, and then deal with them accordingly. And we need to be very careful because of social media. We do not want to have backlash. So most of the time, the advice would be to spend a little bit more to, pacify the J customer. But however, in future, you might not want to associate yourself with the J customer ever. All right, try to control the temper of the frontline employee. If the frontline employee cannot manage it, call another person to try to manage it. Because J customers are customers, we need to really be careful in case they trouble the company. All right, it's coming to 3:20 right now. I think I will wrap up the session. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the session. If you have any other questions, do feel free to drop an email. Okay, we have an email here that you can inquire. I hope all of you have a nice afternoon. Enjoy your lunch. Have a nice day. Thank you.